If you want to watch Rose Gold, you've got to go and watch Rose Gold.
I'll take that.
It's on YouTube right now.
Why did I step on this?
YouTube.com/Daniel Van Kirk, I think.
Me too.
But I can't say for sure
Might
because
be
I
a
don't
comedy
really
in
know. But if you went to Google and you type in YouTube and Daniel Van Kirk, more than likely you'll find it. Now, I'm not saying pause
or just
this
to my website
and go watch that, but I am saying after this, go watch that. Or you're getting this, you're one of our listeners who's like, the moment it drops
Wednesday
on Wednesday,
morning.
it's not everybody, but there's some people that when this drops, they absorb it.
Right.
It's the morning. You've got your day. Maybe you're doing whatever the fuck you want. Maybe you're going to work, blah, blah, blah. You now know that tonight is text your partner if you have one and say, I think we do pizza and we watch fucking YouTube.
Text someone you want to be your
you
partner.
do one better. By yourself, you get a pizza and you watch this fucking special.
Now you're living the dream.
Now it's great. And now you go, I will pick up a 6-pack. You know what? When I get home, here's what I would do. And I don't want to take this if you want. Tonight's my night. I'm going to go watch Rose Gold. I'm going to order the pizza. Then I'm going to make an old fashioned. I'm going to enjoy that and some jazz while I wait on the pizza.
Brandy old fashioned.
Then when the pizza arrives, I've obviously already preset everything up. So all I have to do with my hot pizza is hit play. I'm hitting play.
Sure.
I'm eating pizza.
Right.
Maybe a beer, but maybe I've shifted to water because I'm 43.
I will say, I never thought of this.
And it's just how reality
You've
works.
put me into this space. If you want to have the official Rose Gold watching dinner, I would say old fashioned.
Yeah.
If you want to make it Wisconsin style with the classic maraschino cherries and the,
I had a 1940s old fashioned. I didn't know a brandy, but I had a 1940s where you put in the cherry.
Yeah.
You put in the orange.
Yep.
You put in the bitters.
Yeah.
And you
a little bit of sugar.
Not yet.
Sweet, if you want it sweet.
But you what is that called when you're
a muddle?
Muddle.
You muddle it up.
Yeah.
Then add some sugar.
Mm-hmm. Pour some sugar on
then the
me,
whiskey.
If me is the drink.
Stir that up. Then the ice. And then a little bit of soda water on top.
Yeah.
And it was called a 1940s old fashioned.
And it's a lot of how it's done.
I made one last night.
You've tasted that. That's a lot of how it's done in Wisconsin.
It was delicious.
Up at the cabin. Or you know what? Cabin Supreme.
I don't like Wisconsin style where they just put all the ice in. I want a block or I want a sphere.
Ooh,
I just need that.
ass.
I just need that in a cocktail.
Fair
all
enough.
right. So we've got the drink.
Yeah, you can either do a Cabin Supreme or you can do an old fashioned.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
If you're not drinking, make it a root beer.
Yeah.
If you're not partaking in alcohol.
Or also if you're not drinking, just drink water. It's really important to hydrate.
Fuck that. And then I would say the official meal would be, if you're within proximity, country school, whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'd go fried chicken, tendies.
Let's just be very honest. Most of our listeners are not going to be in proximity.
Sure.
So then what?
Tombstone pizza.
Literally, you just said that to you. Only your family.
Tombstone pizza.
Tombstone pizza.
Square cut, Chicago Tavern style. And if you have an oven like my family
Tombstone does that? Chicago cut tavern style? That's a thing?
Well, that's the.
Or that's what you're saying to
cut
cut
it in squares.
That's how you're saying to cut it.
Yeah, that's the Chicago cut.
Oh,
tavern
I didn't know
style.
if that. When you said square, I didn't know if it comes square. Like Tombstone's like, here's a square pizza.
Like a Detroit style pie.
Yeah.
Those are great too. But yeah, get yourself a Tombstone.
Yeah.
If you want to go nuts, a little spiral mac and cheese. If
Yeah.
you really want to treat yourself, dark chocolate raspberries true fruit. Have you had true fruit?
And here's what's going to happen. You're going to have a heart attack halfway through this.
Hell
you're going to laugh. You're going to go to cardiac arrest.
The hell.
The hell you. Get off it.
What are you hollering about?
Get off it.
What are you hollering about?
Shush.
That would be
Shush
the
has to
official.
come
And I
back.
think it should be known by now. Go to danielvankirk.com if you want to find anywhere to watch it on YouTube. Like, get right into it. But I think tonight I will at least be jumping into the chat.
That's right.
And if you want to know when, I bet I've posted it on Instagram and on
all
Facebook.
the places.
Yeah. All the spots.
God, I'm not gonna lie. I just want to live in that now. I just want to have an old fashioned and eat some pizza and watch the special. And no, I know in your reality, everyone who's hearing this, you're like, well, then do it. But the win is what? You know.
I'm curious to hear what you think of it.
If you're in the Friday Watch crew, you're getting in this 2 days late to when this drops. It doesn't mean you can't go back and go, oh yeah, I actually need to watch that. Oh yeah, that's right. They said that and I didn't watch it yet. Well, here's your reminder.
Boom, boom.
The official merch of the Rose Gold Tour.
Gold. Yeah.
Daniel Van Kirk rose
2
gold.
types of posters. Same poster, just different color palettes. And these shirts.
We're wearing.
I'll still be selling them.
The shirts are still for sale. If you're
Go
in
to
the Friday Watch
DanielVanKirk.com.
crew, and if you're hearing this, just know we're wearing T-shirts that are rose gold related.
Mm-hmm. If you ever come to the show and I have these, it'll come with a little QR code where you can, for yourself or somebody else, gift someone an audio version of the album.
That's exactly right.
But you also can get these shirts at DanielVanKirk.com. Very limited supply.
That's right.
You can also get a Wish You Well hoodie at DanielVanKirk.com.
That's right.
Hey.
Shall we do it?
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break, folks. We're going to be right back.
Promise.
Let's go to the letter!
We're doing this one first? Am I reading this or are you?
I'm reading it.
Okay.
Dear pals, you know, we're getting a lot less names.
Because they don't want to hurt your feelings.
Your feelings? It's never hurt my feelings. It's actually never hurt my feelings because I'm above it.
Is that what you set up higher to be above more things? We're not doing this
All
because
right,
then
then
it's
we
going to
won't.
end up with us sitting on the back of the chair.
I was just trying to take the higher road.
Literally.
Dear pals, first off, I'm a huge fan and paler.
Nice.
Daniel,
Hey.
I don't like you. Damn it. it's just cutting. Daniel, I've been enjoying your work since you first started teaming up with the Sklar's in the county and saw you in Seattle a few years back.
Thanks.
Unbelievable show, and the energy in that room was fantastic.
Love it.
Rory, I remember hearing you on the early days of Comedy Bang Bang and the Todd Glass Show, loving every second of the comedic force you bring. I've listened to this show since day one and has brought me so much joy, especially in these last few dark years, pandemics, riots, layoffs. I always wanted to write in, and I knew exactly what I wanted to talk to y'all about. I just needed a push, and today I got it. Listening to your tangent about Conduct Together from the March 13th, 2024 episode finally uncorked it for me. Let's talk about video games.
Let's talk about video games, baby.
Let's talk about you and me. There's going to be player 1 and player 2, and nowadays player 3.
Perfect. I needed that. But there was also a part of me that wanted you to not resolve it so that Lissa would run out of the room.
Oh. And she'd be like, I can't do this anymore.
It's enough.
I've got these documents. When Vendomian does Ventura.
I've seen the documents.
I've seen the documents.
McMahon.
I could listen to
I'm
that.
in a bunker, McMahon.
It's so funny because
James
you're
is
like,
wonderful.
that might be happening right now.
James is wonderful.
He's a wonderful man. To give a little context, video games are a massive part of my life. Ever since I first saw someone make a Tetris on the OG Game Boy at the tender age of 5, I've been hooked. I've played hundreds of games across pretty much every genre over the years. Am a former tournament-level Super Smash Bros. Player,
I mean, that just
and I
means you entered a
currently work
tournament.
in the industry as a user researcher. That sounds like a dope fucking job.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you're a user researcher in like pod or something like. Right. Enough about me, or like in porn.
Right.
Hey, jack off to this.
Hold on, now I am more into this one.
Enough about me, though, and on to the questions at hand. What are some of your favorite video games? Do you have a favorite gaming memory from your past? Any specific franchises you vibe with? Lissa, get in this convo too, please. You mentioning your love of Dr. Mario definitely gets you respect from me. Ha? Ha? Ha.
Oh, I think that means tongue-in-cheek.
Oh. Love everything y'all do, and I wish you well. Tony.
Tony!
Let's dive right in.
Well, I would love to hear yours.
Favorite video game? I think for me,
Yeah?
it hands down has got to be GoldenEye
Oh, great call.
on the Nintendo 64. I just
No
fucking
slappers only. No odd job. One
remote
shot, one
mines,
kill.
remote mines in the complex
Proximities, baby.
all day, all day. I just fucking love that
Grenade
game. It
launchers
came
in
out
the
at a
temple.
perfect time in my life, and also that was like the game that people were like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Like, wow, okay, this is like crazy. It was crazy. And also at the time, the look of it, while not great, was still great. Like the mobility of the gun and movement and everything.
I just played it.
Was
I just
like,
played it 2 weeks ago.
I just played it. Same. I have a Nintendo Switch,
Yeah.
so I downloaded the free Nintendo 64 thing, and then I paid for the membership to access all of the Nintendo 64 games. And my daughter's going back and playing like Kirby and stuff. Like she's
So
just
much
picking
fun.
a game and playing it. I'll like go look and she'll be like, I'm playing this thing where I'm like banjo something, and she's like running around. I was like, oh yeah, I never got into this game, but I was like, oh, it actually is great for a kid. And like
Yeah.
she doesn't care that the graphics aren't as good as the current Nintendo Switch games. Anyways, that game specifically loved it.
Banjo-Kazooie?
But I gotta say, like, as kids, like going to Putt Putt, the arcade at Putt Putt, the slushies,
Bungers for us.
the ices at Putt Putt, the smell of that arcade,
That's a real. That's
and
a
the
real
video
drawback.
games. You know, that was when Mario was on the fucking table game.
Yeah.
That was when, obviously Miss Pac-Man and games like that. But for me, like NBA Jam,
He's on fire.
Double Dragon, specifically not at home. Double Dragon.
I can still
Teenage
hear
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Then the same version, which was The Simpsons.
Who was your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
I mean, I just
When you would play the
It
game?
is so funny.
was like
Someone
being
just
Donatello.
asked me this 2 days ago,
Yeah.
out of this context.
Yeah.
And I go, honestly, it was Donatello because I could fashion that weapon out of a broomstick. You know, where am I going to get katana? So I know in the video game, but I'm saying someone asked me, and I
You can get them at the flea market.
So
Same
in the
with,
video
same
game-
with nunchucks.
So in the video game, I always went Donatello. I
Yeah.
liked that weapon the most.
Same, yeah. The
Because
staff,
it felt
baby.
like, I don't know, a sword and the chain of the nunchucks, and then the katana swords. Those felt aggressive, where the other felt like, I just have a walking cane that I fuck you up with. And I just liked that it didn't feel aggressive. It had other uses.
Yeah.
And it felt simple. And also, truly, the fact that I could take a broomstick, I could take a thing off a
It's
broomstick.
called size.
And me and my buddy would put tape down the middle, and we'd have it exactly the way Donatello had it.
Hit yourself in the back of the
And
head.
you all the time. And you definitely broke shit and got in trouble, and you'd have to do it outside.
Go outside.
Go outside. You can do that outside. Hurt yourself outside. So Donatello, even in the video game.
Leonardo.
What
was
about
good too.
what about you? What?
Well, I think my favorite game that I've played all time. I really love a good story game. I've actually retired from like first-person shooters and stuff like that.
Okay.
Is
I wasn't invited to the ceremony or the party, but
the retirement?
yeah,
Dude, I gotta watch.
I got this bracelet.
Yeah, this bracelet.
Oh well, that's. I guess that's nice. I have a pension. Really? From first-person shooter games.
It says,
Yeah.
"Good game, Captain Starfighter."
Well, a lot of it was Call of Duty, so that's why I've actually got my retirement's kind of set. I was veteran.
yeah. Uncharted 2.
I don't know it.
Oh,
I don't know most games.
it is like playing an Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, that's fun.
It is.
What is that on?
PlayStation.
The original? This is forever ago?
No, it would be PlayStation 3. I
Okay.
think for Uncharted 2.
Got it.
Maybe 4. We're in 5 now. Could have been 4. But
Do you consider yourself
a PlayStation guy?
a gamer?
That's a really good question.
Because for me, I am 100% not.
So, I've been known out of excitement to tear up at a movie before it even starts in a movie theater.
Okay, I don't know. Okay.
So for me, like going to the movies, like sitting in there, and like you were saying, the aesthetics, the smell, the sounds, the tops of people's heads, it is therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nostalgic.
getting lost, finding refuge from the day or the worries of life into a video game is the same for me.
Got it.
However, I have not, other than socially with other people, I have not played a video game where I'm like, all right, I'm going to take an hour, just kind of go into this game.
Yeah.
I bet you I'm coming up on at least 8 months. And because Red Dead,
Wait, since you've played a game?
just me sitting down, going to escape into a game.
Oh, yeah. All right. So then no. The answer is definitely no.
No, man, because I'm still completely emotionally and desire-wise like tapped into Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
I love it so much. There's
I
a game
have it, and I've never do anything with it.
It is. It's wonderful.
Maybe we
It's
should give
like
it a chance.
Westworld, but it's
Adam Jones. This is how wonderful Adam Jones is. He got me the Last of Us.
Great game, a wonderful game.
There is a chance. I actually need to go back and check. This feels insulting. There's a chance Adam might have bought the PlayStation for me. I don't remember. He might have sent it to me and been like, "Here, play this video
It's
game."
a good gift.
He might have done that.
I mean, if you've reached his level of success, that's a nice gift.
It's a nice
to be like,
gift.
I'm going to send over, and
Yeah.
it's then
He got the the 2 Last
and
of
it's
Us
not,
games.
and it's not above a gift where you're like embarrassed that it was given to you. That's just
Yeah.
like, wow, what a nice gift.
Yeah. The Last of Us games, and I started to play the first one with Jordan, and I was very impressed by it. I am just not a gamer.
Yeah.
So I haven't fully explored how amazing those games are. Like,
And
I
there's a
have
curve.
Grand Theft
There's
Auto.
quite
I
a
don't know
curve
that
to
I
those.
fucking really... I spend some money
unreal.
on these things, and I don't know that I'm the target for
But-
it because I don't care that much.
But I don't know that that is honestly as much as you are a storyteller and you love a good story and you love technical achievement, especially in art, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I don't know that that's your style. I
Yeah.
think that like a pick up and go, like Overcooked and stuff like that,
Love Overcooked.
right, is maybe way more for you.
Yeah.
So
Conduct Together, Overcooked, yummy, yummy, yummy,
There was a
yummy, yummy,
game
tummy, tummy, tummy.
called Burnout Revenge, which is my favorite racing game of all time. And then when the PlayStation 3 came out, they came out with a version called a new version of the game, whatever, a next evolution of the game called Burnout Paradise. And to me, it completely ruined the game. They tried to do a Grand Theft Auto open world, but you're racing all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I just want to pick a car and race.
Yeah,
I
the
remember at high
simplicity
school
of
being
it.
so into Gran Turismo. I mean, like knowing exactly the lines that I needed.
Yeah.
But one time, my cousin and I up at the cabin, it was raining. We knew it was going to rain. We still wanted to go to the cabin. We brought one of our PlayStation 2s.
How old are you?
22, 23. We brought one of our PlayStation 2s up to the cabin, and we played Burnout Revenge and made it into a drinking game. And every time if you fell into last place, you had to take a drink.
Yeah.
And the game is built around a lot of crashing. That's sort of part of the game.
Yeah.
So you would constantly like fall back.
Yeah.
And then when the race was over, whatever place you finished in, that's how many seconds you had to drink.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just the most fun. And that's still
Yeah.
one of my favorite games. There was modes in that game that were great. I mean, WCW Nitro for Nintendo 64 was a super fun game.
Yeah.
I can roll really deep, and I love a lot. There's a new game out right now called Helldivers 2,
Okay.
which is really interesting because it's in the same model as these Fortnites. Like, everybody from everywhere joins in, plays 100 people
Okay.
at once, all that stuff. But you're not playing against each other. It's almost if Stormtroopers were a game. You can pick which planet you want to go to. You get linked up with other people who are
Dropped in.
Yes, and then you have to
And
like
your teammates.
fight these bugs, or you have to fight these. They look like T1000s.
Yeah.
And people are going absolutely nuts. And it kind of, to be a little bit, I think art and media constantly reflects where we are as a society.
Yeah.
And I think that it is promising and also telling that a game like this is doing so well because it's based on the premise of we got to work together.
Yes. Yeah.
And people are searching for that, I
Yes.
think. I think even more, it's weird. I think even the people who get labeled as like screaming from the hilltops and the people who get labeled as super angry, when you take them out of the clothing that starts arguments and all this other stuff, they kind of all go, can we not do this anymore?
I know,
And it's
I
like,
know.
yeah, well, stop going to those rallies and stop like fighting with people
Yeah.
online then if you kind of
Yeah.
also feel
Yeah,
this
yeah,
way.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that game has gone bananas. I mean, every major IP like Star Wars and all, it's going to try to completely replicate. You all work together.
Yeah.
But people love it. I mean, I have a Raspberry Pi and have all of the
Old
first and
school.
second gen consoles. and
Sure.
I'll fire
Not
up
bad.
anything, man. An
Yeah.
old Castlevania, Zelda.
Yeah.
I could go forever on that. But
It's
the early
fun.
ones, I haven't done any of the new. I tried Breath of the Wild. I always mess up the last word. I loved it. I just kind of lost pace with playing.
Yeah. I'm not a gamer, so I don't keep
Bubble
up with
Bobble?
anything. Don't care about Bubble Bobble.
Really, I love.
You know what
Bubble
game
Bobble.
is so fucking hard? Games used to be so hard.
Yeah, because they wanted you to keep putting quarters in.
Burger Time
Dude,
is
Soul Calibur 2.
so fucking hard.
Burger Time is hard as fuck.
It is
dude.
so hard.
So is
All-
Tapper.
with the Raspberry Pi, it's the same. Yeah, I'll put that on. I'm like,
Have you done
can't.
Dig Dug lately?
No.
Not in a long time.
Also hard.
Yeah, so hard.
Ghouls
Where you're
and
like,
Goblins.
what is the
Ghouls
point
and
of this?
Goblins is so hard, but such a fun game.
Golden Axe was major.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you had a Sega.
I was going to
had a
ask
Sega
if you guys
Genesis.
played Sega. Were you an Altered Beast guy?
That's what I. Yeah.
I was kind of. I was in
Everybody.
Altered Beast.
I think Altered Beast
Loved
came with
Altered
the
Beast.
console.
It did. It did.
Yeah.
I started out with the original Nintendo. I never had a Super Nintendo. I had a
definitely
Sega
did.
Genesis.
Did not do that.
Then I had. I think
64?
I had a 64.
Same,
I
yeah.
can't remember
I
if
still
I
have
had
my
it.
64.
And then.
Function.
And then after that, I remember buying a PlayStation 2 after college, and then I now have a PlayStation 4 and a
I want a
Nintendo
5.
Switch, and I've got the Raspberry Pi in the mini Nintendo NES. But yeah, even with all that being said, I played Sonic and I played games on Sega Genesis, Earthworm Jim kind of shit. I just didn't get so into it. I really was like, I want to fucking go shoot basketball right now. And I
Toe
would
Jam
just
and
go
Earl.
do it.
You never did Toe Jam and Earl?
Toe Jam and Earl for sure.
Loved Toe Jam and
Toe
Earl.
Jam and Earl.
Dude, the only Christmas I ever sort of ruined for myself was my mom kept telling me, only good boys get a Game Boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
You're like, what about us bad boys?
I know, and I was like,
She's
Mom,
like,
I'm
"Shut
the
the fuck up."
bad boy of
And she was like,
Rochelle.
STFU.
And I was like, and I'm still trying to figure that out. Christmas morning, got up super early, ran downstairs, looked at all the gifts. I found one that sort of looked like the size of a brick, and I like opened the like to from that my
Of
we all
course.
do, and it said, "Merry Christmas to a very good boy," and I was like, oh my god! And then I went back up to bed, and my mom was like, later on, I think you're gonna like this one, and I was like, what is it? You know?
That's
And
when you
then,
became an actor.
thank you.
That's when you were like, I have to sell this.
Well, she did say, let's try it one more time, and this time just do it for you
Yeah.
on the second go around.
Yeah. She was even aware.
And I would play some game. Do you remember a game that you were
On
like a
what?
boy on Game Boy, I think, but you were a boy and you had like 3 balloons and you had to like make it through and some things would come and pop your balloons?
Sort of.
What is that game?
And the balloons were red, I think, on the cover, like on the box.
I don't fully remember.
But I also would I
were
would play
so
the
many
fuck
weird
out of
games.
Kirby and
Yeah.
Dr. Mario.
Elliot's on a big Kirby kick.
Aunt Connie and I would play Tetris, and we were playing on a tube TV, little tube TV. We were playing Tetris, and one time it went like in between levels, it went to like a blank screen, and we could see us. We'd maybe been there 2 hours or so, and Aunt Connie goes, "Danny, look at us. Look at us in the screen. We look like zombies." We were just like both just playing. We still, if we get done with this, I called Connie. She go, "Oh, yep, I remember."
Yeah. We were zombies that day.
Yeah.
This was great. This was a great letter.
I mean, forever and ever we could do this.
Yeah.
The
I
Wizard.
love it so
Remember
much.
seeing The Wizard? The greatest commercial for a video game
Yes.
ever.
Yes. I always had
California.
issue. I was like, how did he know that secret thing was there? This is the first time they've played Mario 3. It just came out.
And they put the glove on.
Oh, the Power Glove, which ended up being such a piece of shit.
But I also, at one point, had the huge,
Pad
with the
strap
joystick.
for track and field.
With the,
Oh, yeah,
just
the big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The joystick.
Do you
I would play
remember-
the shit out of
I
games
felt
with
like when Wii came out, Nintendo Wii came out, it was such a game changer. My
Loved it.
friends and I were so excited.
Well,
like,
because the hurdle for
Interacti-
entry was so everybody felt like, oh, I can do that. Well, I just go like this.
Bowling.
totally.
Bowling
Oh,
was
Wii,
great. The
bowling,
golf,
tennis, like the Wii
We
Sports.
made drinking games out of the bowling
Yeah.
version where it's 100 pins.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the game was, but we somehow created a
The
drinking
Mario
game.
Go Kart, the
Mario Kart?
Mario Kart on that one was like such a great game. Also,
wheels,
Gradius 3.
Never heard of that.
Oh,
Did you
gotta
guys?
put on some Gradius 3.
Dude, I remember I was so in. I remember running back to my grandma's house with my rented copy of Starfighter. Or
Yeah.
Star Fox.
Star Fox.
Star Fox.
Yeah,
Oh, and F-Zero.
I know. Yeah.
Did you guys ever do Rock Band or Guitar Hero
Yes.
or anything?
Loved it.
I feel
Loved
like
it
you
so
would have
much.
loved. Yeah,
Yeah. Did you ever
Rock Band was great because you could do the drums.
so great.
Did you guys ever do SingStar?
No.
No, what's
So
that?
SingStar was for PlayStation. It's a karaoke.
Oh, like hitting the notes.
It's a karaoke
I
game.
have done it, yeah.
And I have almost every version of it with the mics. I had friends, we were so into it, we made our own like karaoke books, so you knew like which disc had which song.
Yeah.
So much fun, and then you get points based on like where it is. I still have
Yeah.
all the stuff,
Yeah.
and it's one of the reasons I've kept my PlayStation 3 in case for some reason somewhere somebody's like,
It's like
SingStar.
Rock Band, but it tries to get your vocals
just
in the
singing.
range, and it's kind of
And they have every
probably actually
genre
a
of
great lesson
music.
on singing.
That's wild.
I mean, the Billy
If you
Joel,
did it enough times, you would legit
Don't
be
go
like, well, this should
changing.
sound good.
Yeah.
It should sound good.
and then you find out you could hack it just sort of by like hitting notes, but you're not singing.
yeah.
Well,
But
because with Rock Band, my friends who were
That's how I know the song Maps.
from Rock Band,
Yes. Yes,
totally.
I know.
Well, that's a great example because they had me on singing for Maps, crushed it.
Yeah.
I
Crushed.
nailed it, but my score was low because I was just singing my nards off versus
yeah.
like
Oh, you sounded
trying
good versus
Yeah,
with the
right,
computer.
right.
yeah. So there's a way there's like a middle ground, I
Yeah.
think, with games like that. So fun.
This was good. Good call.
Tony, this was great.
God of
Thanks
War,
for writing us
God
back.
of War
And
2, God of
guys,
War
if
3.
you're like, I have some video game thoughts, well, fucking
or memories
you know,
they're tied to, or
You know what exists over in the Patreon in
Yep.
the world of sagas and how we could get deeper into some video game chat. So send it over to us if you got games that we need to know about or that you love or you recommend. Tony, we wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Rory Scovel.
and Daniel Van Kirk.
And we
Little THX feeling,
It did
right?
feel it. It did feel that way, and I liked it.
I love that.
God, it felt good. Remember who used it? Like Dr. Dre used it on an album, and he got in trouble with Lucasfilm.
Oh, really?
Because isn't THX Lucas?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah,
so.
he got in trouble because it just took that sound effect. It's like, we can't do that. That one's obviously more forgivable because you're like, oh, he did it in a fun way.
Sure.
Unlike Vanilla Ice, who's like, no, I'm pretty sure my song's different.
and
Like,
was it
really?
also
Because when it starts, everyone thinks they're about to hear
Bittersweet
Queen.
Symphony of Life? Wasn't that just a total? That's a Stones song, right?
Yeah.
They lost all. They don't make any money on that song.
That's right.
I think they lost all of it.
All of it, which is insane because it's
Wild.
such a great song.
I know.
Folks, you're in the plugs and hugs. with
Hey,
Rory Scoring.
hug it out and plug it out, baby.
As we have talked about before, you guys have heard our announcement, but
Last week, if you haven't,
go back to last week. But if you're not, you're here now. This show is going to be moving
baby.
100% over to the Patreon.
Yep.
So after May 8th, if you want Pen Pals in its newest form, in new episode form, you've got to get it. You can only get it
$5
from the
a month.
Patreon. That's $5 a month, which comes to $60 a year. If you sign up for a year, it's only $55. But the main thing, at its minimum, it is $5 a month if you do want to join.
And if
we have
you've
a lot
never,
of people
if
that
you've
are
never joined, there's tons of crazy fun stuff
Yeah.
over there. You'll get access
let's-
to all those episodes.
Let's say you're like, all right, well, this show in its current form is no longer going to be available, so I'll join the Patreon. You will find that we have a massive amount of episodes available in the Patreon that you can go back and listen to, and then start getting new episodes after May 8th. But also, every single episode that we
Back
have
catalog.
done since the very beginning of Pen Pals up until May 8th will also be available on this feed. So you will still be able to access this in the public space. But for anything new content related, post May 8th, the only way to get it is by joining our Patreon for $5 a month. And if you're sitting there going, well, why are you doing that? The options were the show completely ends because
we're not
things
done.
are changing for us. Or we go to the Patreon only and the show doesn't have to end.
and we
But
get to hang with
yeah.
everybody who loves it as much as we do and wants it to keep going.
And we've appreciated iHeart. We've appreciated
Sure.
Big Money Players, but now we're in this space, and we're going to try to keep the show alive by doing this new thing. If that's for you, come on over. And if this
Come on
other
over,
thing is for you,
baby.
starting today, as we have said, Daniel Van Kirk
Hey.
is dropping his very first special,
Yep.
Rose Gold, today. It is dropped. It is
Yes.
currently available.
DanielVanKirk.com if you want to just get yourself quickly that YouTube channel. I hope everybody goes and listens to it. I've talked about it at the top of this show, so I don't need to say a whole bunch more.
Shot it in Chicago, Illinois.
I did, and you know what? Speaking of that, this is gonna be the first place I think I do it. It's happening. I get my own little Chicago Summer Comedy Festival.
He's going to be doing a Chicago Summer
at
Comedy
the
Festival.
Lincoln Lodge. People I love. That's where I shot the special.
Now you're going to do it at the Lincoln Lodge.
Yeah, I'm doing it at
That
the
sounds
Lincoln Lodge.
absolutely fantastic.
Lincoln Lodge.
That's going to be so much fun. Now, do you have a specific date for that yet?
I think it starts on the Tuesday the 16th, and we'll run through Sunday. Every night, me doing a show
That is
with
so
other
fun.
people, different themes to shows.
What are you calling it?
I know.
The Daniel Fest? You'll only book other comics that are named Daniel?
I don't. Maybe I was thinking about I Got a Guy, the Daniel Van Kirk Chicago Comedy Festival. I don't know. I'm gonna be working on a ton of new material and having a whole bunch of fun. It's summer in Chicago in July. Let's go inside. So
baby.
go to danielvankirk.com.
inside. It's too hot out.
Or hey
It's gonna
guys,
be
it's
hot
finally
out.
summer.
Yeah.
Let's go
Yeah,
inside.
Let's go inside. Get in the lodge.
So I hope everybody comes out to that. That probably doesn't even have a link yet. Maybe it does. I don't know. But I will be in Denver in a couple weeks, and I'll be in Wisconsin on May 18th. Go to Daniel Van Kirk for all the time. Do you have any dates coming up?
I'm going to be in Atlanta doing a show on May 9th and 10th.
Red Clay.
It might also be May 8th, 9th. It's going to look.
That's the same weekend I'm in Denver.
Go to my website, roryscovel.com, or go to Red Clay Comedy Fest, Google, and look that up. But I'm doing shows at the Earl. I'm doing one night, I'm doing an improvised show, and then the very next night, I'm doing an improvised show, stand-up. So if you want to come and see that and see me potentially fall flat on my face, it has happened before. It could happen again. Come on out. But sometimes these shows are stupid and super fun. So come and see that. It could go either way.
Rory, quick follow-up. Have you ever fallen on stage?
I don't think I have. I have several times almost fallen going up the steps or coming out, tripping on something.
I've done that once, big time.
I'm now much more careful about it. I've graduated
Go slow.
into, I got here early. Why don't I look at the path real quick? But I don't know that I've, not in a way that I remember it anyway. Yeah. So, which is a good thing. It means I've either fully repressed it,
I have
which
a
is
fear,
super healthy.
I have a fear of
or it never
someday
happened.
being on stage when the body decides, we're going to the bathroom now.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't have enough time to get off, but just being in a mental state where I realize I have to leave the stage.
But you could go, guys, I'm not going to lie, and this is so embarrassing. I do have to go take a shit. Is anyone here do stand-up and wants to do about 10 minutes? And then
but
also,
that is-
if you need a beer, if you need to go to the bathroom, if you need a
But
cigarette,
Rory,
go
that
for
is what you and I would.
I'll be right
That
back.
is what you and I would do. There's
Yeah.
a lot of comics that would. I don't know. But
That's
yes,
what I
we
would do.
would somehow
do that 100%.
bid it. I mean, we always talk about this. I tell people this. I just had a guy in DC ask me, he goes, do you have any advice for me? I'm starting to stand up. I go,
Go to it.
Keep going up. And
Go get in it.
Keep going up and do the show that's happening in that room
Yeah.
for those people.
Yeah.
And that's what we
Do not start a family.
This is the show where I had to
Don't-
go to the bathroom, guys.
Don't buy a car. Don't buy a house. Don't start a family.
going.
And you'll love it.
Now, if you're going to get a 30-year arm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, should we do it?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Let's go to the
side of the
letter. Cheers. Ow, fuck. Jesus.
Well, that's why I say we got to scold. Scolding. We need to scold more.
Rory scold.
I knew that was happening. Rory scolded.
Full.
Here we go. This, speaking of live dates, I wonder if that sounds
Good or bad?
right. I genuine. I was like, is it making someone go, I can't? Or they'd be like, that's
I'm
kinda
also
cool.
sitting there going, is it good? I don't know. Okay. What
Kind of
what
felt
were we
like
gonna
the
ask?
beginning
You're
of
about to
a
ask something.
Christopher Nolan trailer. This, speaking of
Here's
live
a
dates,
letter.
was handed to me from an audience member because I open a lot of my own shows. I go up first before
Yep.
the host
Yep.
say and just kind of maybe work out some new material, or I ask if anybody brings this. This was handed to me as I was on stage.
Yeah.
You should start doing that. That could be, you could do a whole hour off of a letter. Yeah, you really want, you don't know
I
where
just
it's
walk
going.
out and I start talking, dude.
know
I light
you
a
do,
cigarette
baby.
and I see where I
I know
end
you
up.
You ready?
Yeah.
Dear fellas,
Okay. Friendly.
First and foremost, we are a divided household on the reading versus listening to an audiobook.
We've had that debate.
I'm right and Nat's wrong. Don't ask him, though. Second, we were listening to Pen Pals when I was in the hospital having our first child, whose name, coincidentally, is Robbie. So there's that. Let's get into it.
Ooh, other side.
Only one of us,
Stationary, huh?
very Joni Mitchell, only one of us is correct on this one as well.
Oh.
Christmas lights, all white or multicolor? The Pen Pals community means the world to us. The COVID live shows on Zoom were bananas. Thank you. We love you. You can say our names. Anna and Nat Winth. There's a little thing, a little side note. When it said, dear fellas, there's a note that says Nat's handwriting is tough. I took over. And then there's
Now you don't know
it's
who
stationary.
argued which thing.
Stationary, and it says full name, but I don't know if they want to say, but it says Reese, and then they wrote Pennies. Daniel, you are correct. It's how you say it.
Well, we already know now that they are wrong, but now I don't know. I get the impression that Anna and Nat disagree on the three
Reese's
things that have been.
things? They didn't say they disagree on that.
Well, here's the thing: they disagree on reading versus listening. They
Yes.
disagree on clearly the white versus multicolor.
Right.
I got to assume they probably also disagree on PCs. And I couldn't tell you which one is a teammate, and we'll never know. So it's kind of great that they didn't tell us, because now we can't pick on one for being fucking wrong as fuck.
Can I tell you that I very briefly talked about this on stage?
Okay, Sage.
Some people at this point may have already seen it online. But my first instinct was, and you tell me if you think I'm crazy, all white Christmas lights, parents are still together.
Oh, wow. I don't think those are correlated in any way whatsoever.
Oh, I disagree.
Well, I've seen many multicolored Christmas lights, and the parents are still together.
Sure, but all white, like multicolor, who knows? All white, parents are still married.
First and foremost, I want to say, I like... Oh, hey,
That was a little rumby-tumby.
guy.
You got a little stormy seas?
I like both. I like solid white. I like a multicolor. I like them both.
You would feel that you'd done enough, and you'd be happy if you had decorated your house in all white Christmas lights.
I'm not saying I would prefer that.
I didn't think so.
I don't dislike it. It does have a classy look to it. But here's what I want to say. If your house is done up in all white Christmas lights, I think you're hiding something.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
there's a
think-
lot of pain. They don't
and I
talk about
think
their
that's
family. I'm not saying they're
something-
happily
Well, no,
married,
no,
but they're
no,
still
no.
married.
I'm going further than that. That's something you're hiding. I believe to be a dead body. I don't think it's emotions. I think you fucked up. You are embezzling money. You've killed someone.
Sure.
You're on the run, and you think no one's going to notice.
But you are
multicolor.
married.
People are going to look over here. Like, no, actually, we're looking over there. You know, we have the pre-lit Christmas tree,
Sure.
and because of that, you can do anything you want. And some days,
Multi blue,
some days you can go all white.
all red.
Some days you go multicolor. There's no like that, but you can go all white blinking, all white doing this, white blinking with multicolor. Like you can change it up in a lot of different ways. I think there's like 10 settings. But to that point, I don't dislike. Now, if I had to make a choice and live with it, I probably would go multicolor.
But when I say all white, aren't you picturing a house that has pillars by the front door? Or like the house is brick? Home Alone house a little bit.
So what you're getting into is a class issue.
It feels
Right, because you drive around in Brentwood or Calabasas or
as
the
we
Palisades,
do too much, I think.
all white lights. Like
Yeah.
you're not going to get a lot
Oh,
of
And
see, I
also-
didn't even know that.
and
That-
also-
that Lissa has a no, that's what it feels like.
And also hired someone to do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they have teams that come in and
Yeah.
set all of their lights up.
Also, when you
and
think of all
that
whites-
decorate their giant houses.
When you think of all white lights, are you guys picturing a lot of lights? Or are you picturing sort of the hedges outlining the windows, maybe wrapping the pillars, and that's it?
It is funny that people have these
Notions?
notions, like, because you are right, but also I've seen people classily do up multicolor lights.
Of course. I'm not saying that's not possible.
But I know what you mean, because it is like I said, if someone goes, hey, and this is, by the way, it's 2024. And I mean at the lowest,
God.
I mean the lowest tier of financial, you just found out, the lowest tier of financial like effort you have to make. I bought these lights. Even today, at a very cheap level, lights should be, anyways, you sync up the app on your phone and you can change them to anything you want. And I'm saying that's not expensive today. That's
Sure.
pretty cheap today.
Sure.
Now, if you go, as a lot of people are, like, you pick one style. It's either going to be all white or it's going to be multicolor, and you have to live with it. My answer to this question is that I think I go multicolor because I
course.
can live with that longer than I could. Like, if you said, hey, tonight, I'm just going to go all white. Fucking go for it. Hey,
Yeah.
for a month.
Fine.
a month all white. I'm like, I don't know.
But this episode is dropping on what? Same day as Rose Gold?
Christmas
April
Day.
17th?
April 17th.
When you guys think about anybody who's listening to this, who they themselves or their family members still have Christmas lights up, are they white? No. They're multicolored. People putting up all white lights
Unless they're
have taken those fuckers down by at least, or at latest, January 15th.
Unless they're those like icicle lights, you know. The
Well,
ones-
that's so now that to me is
I don't
more,
like the icicle
I almost said
lights.
decoration, but I know that they're
I
technically
know.
both decorations.
People went
That's
so
almost a
hard
prop.
on them.
That's a prop decoration.
That's prop decor.
There was this house by
That
my
makes
high
it sound
school.
fancier. Oh, I have prop decor.
decor.
I have prop decor.
There
I
was
never
this,
do this, and I think it's because of lack of
because of how
sleeves.
cool you look.
Lack of
It
long
does
sleeves.
look really cool. I'm gonna do it too.
Hey, feels nice, right?
Oh my god, you guys are really cool.
Do you
There-
mind?
Go on,
Hold
listen.
on. Do you mind? I actually haven't in years, but do you mind if I?
Whoa.
Thank you. Thanks. It's technically still haven't bought them in forever. You know what?
Fuck, dude. I don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna save it,
And I just throw that one out as like a full one.
and then now we have to pretend that a fire.
And you just break it and you go, and you shouldn't either. Can I have one? I never. And you shouldn't either.
Or, and I know this is gonna seem weird. I'm sorry. It's just if I'm not gonna smoke it, which I'm not right now, but I probably won't anyway.
This is what I want to see somebody do. I go, I haven't smoked it. Do you care if I have one of those? And they give it to you. You go, I haven't done this in so long. And just hand it right back to them, and they're like, "Yeah, it is still
God,
good. It is still."
that
like
was
it."
for the Friday Watch crew.
Listen, what were you gonna say about lights, the camera action?
There was this house by my high school that it was a blue house. They only did blue lights and they went nuts. Like every window, every bush, the like gate in the front. It was
No, that long breath for me too.
I mean, well, so it was stunning looking. It was really, really great looking.
yeah.
And what they had a stipulation, they sold the house and they had a stipulation
Oh no.
as part of the sale that the next owners had to continue with the lights. And
Wow.
and they
You have
had
to agree to that.
They had a whole setup. Like they told them exactly which lights go where, and they had like a
You're
whole layout
moving.
and everything. They kept it was such
You
it mattered.
sold
It's part of the sale.
the house.
I know,
It
but it's part of the
mattered.
sale. Someone agreed to that. That's not on the sale. That's on the person who bought it to be like, yeah, I'll do it.
You know what
Like,
I would
you're
say?
insane to agree to that.
I would say, fine. I agree. It's going to cost us if we paid someone to do it $2,000 a year. Let's say you knock off $10,000, and that'll be covered in the cost. For
Maybe
the next
they
5 years of paying
did.
somebody to do it.
But
Maybe.
But
the-
I'm not fucking doing
Maybe.
it.
The new owners did it for so long, and it wasn't
that is
until
charming.
They
this
might have
past
liked
year
it.
I drove by the blue house, and they must have sold it again and didn't require that the next owners do that because
Oh,
the
interesting.
house wasn't blue anymore, and it felt kind of sad that.
Do you
that
think
blue
they
house
take them to
wasn't there.
court? They go, hey, contractually, you didn't do it last Christmas.
If you're in breach, but then what? If you're in breach, the house reverts back.
But don't you think the judge is sitting there going, guys, there's
That's what I'm saying. They'll throw it
legitimate
out.
problems
They
in the
probably
world?
throw it out. Well, it depends on how much they love Christmas and where they stand on the war.
Here's
I'll tell
my,
you where they stand on
Again.
Christmas. They want everyone to have to do it the way they do it.
Yeah.
That's where they stand on Christmas.
Yeah.
Here's another question, which didn't really, they didn't specify
Big
this,
bulbs
but there are
all day.
Well, so there are white lights and then there are multicolored lights, but then there are like solid colored lights too. Like,
with a matte kind of finish, which I really like.
oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. But
You
I
mean
just
solid
meant
colored lights.
or singular
blue house?
singular colored lights,
Like
I guess.
blue house.
Yeah, like so
Oh,
if a house
not multicolor, just color.
It's not
A
multicolored,
different
but
color
they are
that's not
colored
white.
lights that aren't white.
Yeah.
Where does that fall for you guys?
I mean, it's
I
weird.
think it's
You gotta
like
go.
when you said blue, I'm like, that doesn't feel like Christmas. That good God,
You are tumbly.
hungry.
You're like, I gotta go 10
And, like,
minutes. I gotta
red-
go take a shit.
Does anybody
No, I
hear
know, I already
podcast?
took a shit.
Does anybody
Now
hear
I gotta-
podcast?
I gotta put new stuff in to create more shit. My body's like, yeah, I need to generate. Like red feels too much like Halloween.
Yeah.
Orange feels absurd.
Right.
Green maybe, but then it just seems like you love St. Patrick's Day. I don't know. I don't think I
Or
like
I don't
it.
even
I don't
mean
think I
like
like it.
I don't even mean like the blue house style, but like if one window is green lights and another window is orange lights and like the
I
top
don't
of the
like it.
house is like pink lights.
Honestly, I'd have to see it. What I'm picturing, I'd say no. But I could be sold. I mean, honestly, if I saw that blue house, I might be like, fuck, actually, that does look great.
It's red, green, blue, white, and gold, yellowish. That's
Gold. Like tonight on YouTube.com, 8 p.m.
Do I?
Oh, wait. I know this is not the space to do it.
I don't care.
What
our space.
time do you think you're doing I'm going to jump into a chat room so everyone starts the thing at the same time?
I would guess it's probably 9 or 9:30 Rochelle time.
Rochelle, 9, or you need to pick one. Let's say 9. Let's just say 9 right now and commit to it.
Okay, but
There's
if
nothing
you go
to do with me.
if you go to Daniel Van Kirk on Instagram, I bet you'll know for sure.
You'll know for a fact.
Yeah. Because I should probably do that.
This is fun. I like this.
I do too.
It's a great conundrum, and also it has no resolution.
No.
I think that's what I like about it.
I've learned
It's all this
something,
personal flavor.
even though I don't have kids, that whatever you say you're gonna do in terms of like decoration, vacation, TV shows, movies, that all gets thrown out the window when you create a human or adopt a human that you want to make happier than everything in the world, or foster a human. Because I was about to tell you, I will never have a blow up, like inflatable, in my front yard.
Oh yeah.
But also, cut to, I have a child whose dreams will be made if the front yard has a Rudolph blow up in it.
It isn't even that. You will legitimately go, oh man, I'm really fucking tired of this. And then someone goes, if you just plug this in, and you go, all right, give it to me. And you go, fuck, this is great. I'm not gonna lie. We do a blow up on the roof
I'm surprised.
for Christmas because we do a Santa up there. We do a blow up at Halloween of a ghost. I gotta say, I think it's because I personally feel like if we had a more traditional property,
Yes.
I think we would we'd have a little bit more fun with it.
Yes.
But it's just difficult for us. Like Halloween, for instance, like we have these hedges. You can't even see the fucking house anyways.
Right.
And for Christmas, we have to do something on the roof.
Right.
For
So
you to
that
see
Santa
it.
knows where to go.
So the Santa just kind of being up there, and also it lights up. So you go, it gets your attention at night.
Yeah.
But I got to say, I do know what you mean. But it's also once you step over to the dark side, you go, oof, this is easy.
I've told Rosemary that I want any and all holiday decorations someday when she doesn't have use for them anymore.
Yeah.
And there's already one thing she put my name on because she knew people would fight about it.
Yeah.
And I have some of her Halloween decorations, and these are straight up from the 60s.
Yeah. I
Stuff
like
you
that.
just hang in a window.
Vintage stuff is great.
Best, man.
Big into that.
Yeah.
This was great. We don't have any answers for you because I honestly think you already are fully aware that there's no way to have an answer to it. But I think for the most part, we're all voting multicolored here for the most part.
Yeah.
Lisa?
Yes, agreed.
You got her.
Wow. I'm not even going to get in the reading versus listening. All I'm going to say is the one thing you got right on this card is you named your child the right name. Robbie.
I like that.
That's right.
Yep.
We wish you well. Wait, you read this, didn't you?
I think so.
Why am I holding it?
I don't know, because we're friends. Pen pals, dude.
We're partners in our
Crime.
jobs.
And nothing more.
We work together.
Sometimes well. We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Daniel Van Kirk.
And Rory Van Scovel.
Chug it. It's your last drink.